John Lilly once put it this way: there are no limits at all to the human mind whatsoever, except those we impose on ourselves because of our beliefs. And those limits are also beliefs to be transcended. And that's a view that suggests that the possibilities of human transformation are virtually infinite. And we have no way of knowing the outer horizon of what it means to be human.
And really, to understand all this, everything, you have to go very, very deep into a study of history, consciousness, neurophysiology, everything. You have to be the supreme eclectic type of leaning, and you really have to be wanting to know who you are and what everything's about.
And the thing that you'll find when you go to sacred sites, if you're very humble about it, is that you are on a personal journey, and the sacred site will respond to you in a way that is appropriate only to you. The information is always what you are searching for. And it's the intent you give that energy that defines whether it is used for right action or not. And it is inside these sacred spaces that you will be reminded that you are a god, that you are a bright star.
So what you're trying to do is move through the course without ricocheting off walls or creating karma. You're trying to slide through things smoothly. How do you do that? It's called flowing. There's a technique that you can do that will allow you to touch some part of your inner being that has more knowledge than your conscious state does.
Those of you that have watched the recent release, or my last release that I did, Amplify the Echoes Part 6, which was about Chaos 19, the prefrontal cortex, Discord, I really hope you do go and invest the time to observe that, right? Because what I brought up then, and I'll just show the image quick. Long story short, is the Chaos 19 has been a variable that's inserted into people and stuff, and there's no will to solve it, alright? So I'm not going to explain it all here. This is one of the images that I used, but potentially on the multi-D, people are being messed up with on their prefrontal cortex, which to me I said was the metaphor of our subtle sonar, that we have a like most of us are actually, like most of humanity actually have intuitive abilities, but they don't recognize it, alright? So they're in a passive state, alright? Let's say what Chaos 19 does, and the people inserted into it, and so we can have people in our proximity that overlap us at a higher level, alright? It's a subtle assumption that we've got it, alright? And it feels normal and that, but when it's disconnected, we can feel chaotic and you know, extremely insecure about things, because that subtle multidimensional nature of us is not there, okay? So I'm really encouraging you to go and invest your time into observe what I said in that release. It may have been missed by quite a few of you, and that's cool. Maybe you don't want to watch it because you don't want to know, or you know, my teachings are pretty epic and long and stuff, and it's demanding because most of us are low energy and stuff like that, because the reality demands, which I'll get into, are hitting us. But what I'm trying to instill in this. This is a metaphor for Chaos 19, but a lot of these recalibration events can affect us the same way, alright? So what I'm going to get into is, explaining some of them that I've observed and some of the narrative things that they're doing, but a lot of it's aimed to sabotage us on the multidimensional level. It's very interesting, like we say the change of government, say in Australia and stuff. They've implemented policies that are just crazy, you know what I mean, that have affected us. And there's a total callousness about us and what we're going through. And then all the media hype it up and they're supporting them, and, you know, there's so much bullshit out there and stuff, right? So I'm just wanting to offer that as a variable that's in our regions, different regions of the world has affected different regions, but then it affects us all on that multidimensional level, right? So if I move on, so then there's the war, alright? And that war frequency is affecting us and all that sort of stuff, which is used as the cover to justify all this stuff going on, alright? And what I said is I did an Earth Pranic killing on the 30th of June 2022, right? And I put a Facebook post on that and what I said and stuff. And it's very interesting. I wouldn't have done that unless I'm on my game, right? So there's a Facebook post out there. It's up to you to go watch it and read it. But two things about that. And yes, I can do whole planet healings, right? I got that as a vision gift, helping someone out many times and taking a lot of hits. And so Pranic healing's really cool. The guy that offered it to us recommends that we do 10% generosity stuff, and I usually save that for people in trouble or in areas of the world where, so the Aussie dollar and US dollar is very, very expensive, and affording a healing is very tough. So some people are very generous and they offer what they can, and I reciprocate things like that, and then people in trouble and that. But I'm very careful because this is what I learned, like last year when the Dreamtime, a lot of people's Dreamtime was hacked to discredit me, to percolate from the Dreamtime, like a dreaming body of mine was captured, and it was very, very disgusting shit that was being done, right? And so people thought that I was the issue, and so I went and did healing for a lot of people, and it's like, it's not my responsibility if you get fucked up, right? You need to value yourself and go and do it. But say when people mess me up, I offer healing to negate it all and to break bread and stuff. But anyway, so what I got with this Earth Pranic healing was really cool, right? Because I took I've said what's been going on with me, and I've come out the other side, and I'm like freaking GSF mode now, alright? So I'm primed, and it's really cool, because I had one guy that I haven't heard for like 5 or 6 years. I thought he was dead, that I met back in 2011, who's very much into Ashiana Keylonic science stuff. He messaged me an hour later out of the blue after many years. I thought he was gone. And I had a secret squirrel contact me during it as well, that I have held a variable outside in the background to perhaps do more Galactic Special Forces stuff, which I'm totally primed for. So I've been in really good form, invests a lot in me, and I'm doing a lot of healing. So I've had some awesome sessions over the weekend and stuff. And shout out to you guys. Thank you for valuing me and seeking me out and stuff. But yeah, the two main things for the Earth Pranic healing was I usually do the North Pole, South Pole, and Hollow Earth and stuff at a high level. And it was interesting. I was instead of being underneath the South Pole, I was looking from the side and in, and I was clearing out from there, right? And it was felt like with South Pole that, like if there's an what's the word? Toroid energy that goes like a apple, right? What's going on in South Pole? It's been blocked, so that energy flow is blocked, so it lowers the frequency of the Earth, and that's that's a potential I saw with like what they're doing in the South Pole. So I just like fucking no, it's not blocked anymore. We're clear. And the other thing is the US is a lot of frackery is going on in the US and politics and stuff, and like the money is related to the US, so it affects us all. Like as I said, like, say the money's all related and stuff, right? So it affects us all, right? So the overlap of all the countries and stuff. So America's been a bit of a focus, all right? Okay. So yeah, did America, and then I got pulled across the Atlantic Ocean and did all of Europe and stuff, and got drawn to the region where the conflict is. And I actually got drawn like far more east than the actual region. So it's all affecting all the region. But this is the interesting thing. The last time I did pranic healing of the planet, it felt like that region was affecting our stomach. And this was very on before the food inflation all kicked in and stuff like that. So what I felt was trying to reduce our life force by the nourishment that we could take, which reduces our energy and our perception and all that. So it adds to this area issue, plus our ability to regenerate and stuff. So there's uncertainty plus lack, and it adds to the chaos variables, all right? And the other thing was, when I went over the war region, instead of affecting our stomach, it was affecting tailbone. So it's the information and what's going on there is trying to affect us and hack into our parasympathetic. And so overall, what it comes down to is many levels and many scales trying to limit our perception and stuff and keep us in survival mode and discombobulated with everything going on. And there's all these hits and all these variables coming in at us, all right? So it's trying to put us in a like horse blinker mode of not being able to see what's going on because we're too much trying to just endure it through our lives, all right? So if we go back to that other image, so what I'm saying at the end there, all right? And I've got all the galaxy sort of energies and solar flares. There was one, I mean, you go to Solar Watch or Tamtoff or Suspicious Observers on YouTube and stuff, and you can go and watch their videos and their updates and tell you what's going on and stuff. But yeah, if we're not under mastery, all right, of the top level of our individual lives, then it's very hard to define the societal variables or the region variables that are affecting us and stuff. And so if we're not on our game individually, then all this stuff has an ability to affect us all and all the other variables, right? So what I'm trying to do is offer some variables into your algorithm of pattern recognition to just contemplate this and splice them up, right? And as I showed earlier in that other image, it's sort of mandatory to reduce, to say that's how we are, right? To suck it in a bit and not let things affect us. So while I'm using it as a metaphor of reduce the effect of the variables that it can, right? So you can actually say that people that are disturbed or variables out there that are causing issues might be trying to get to us to destabilize us, to keep us off our game, right? Because I haven't showed this one for a while. Let's say the frequencies are rising in the reality and the work that people have avoided, all right, they're getting exposed as big cracks, all right, and the shit's getting inserted in stuff because a lot of stuff is weaponized and people are messed up and that. And if you aren't on your game, then you can be vulnerable to the influences and stuff, alright? The people might be going to the supermarket, it's pretty much battleground energetically and stuff, and a lot of people are carrying stuff on them. Like, as I said, I do a lot of healing on myself and stuff, and if you leave gaps, then who knows, alright? And then you can be affected and you don't even know you're being affected, so it influences your thought patterns and all sorts of stuff, right?
Take my hand and fly away with me, over mountains and seas, far away from the pain, to a place where we're all free, as we fly together, you and me. We will build a new world, still believe